everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be seeing the history of Mysore in Time Travel episode 2 of season 1. So first let's see something about Mysore. So what is Mysore? Where is it? Things like that. So Mysore or Mysuru is one of the most famous tourist destinations of South India. It was originally known as Mysuru and it is the largest district of Karnataka. It was formerly known as the Kingdom of Mysore, and the city is praised across the country for its arresting buildings and monuments, along with its flamboyant imperial heritage. Its World Heritage listed palace of the city is perhaps something that brings most travelers here. Mysore is also a bargaining center for the production of superior quality incense, silk, and sandalwood. I myself have visited Mysore twice, and Mysore has a great variety of culture and such a hospitality in Mysore. So let's see the history from the beginning to the rise. So the site of the Mysore Palace, which is also called as the Mysuru Fort, was actually occupied by a village named Puragare at the beginning of the 16th century. The Mysuru Fort was constructed in 1524 by Chamaraja Vodayar III, who passed on the dominion of Puragare to his son Chamaraja Vodayar IV. Since the 16th century, the name of Mahisuru, which is also a synonym to Mysuru, has been commonly used to denote the city. The Mysore kingdom, governed by the Vodayar family, initially served as a vassal state of the Vijayanagara Empire. Krishnadevaraya and Tenali Rama. It's a very famous empire, one of the most important empires in the history of South India, which led to all these wonderful kingdoms. With the decline of this Vijayanagara Empire after the Battle of Talikota in 1565, the Mysore kingdom gradually achieved independence, and by the time of King Narasaraja Vodayar, it had become a sovereign state. Serirangapattinam, which is now called as Srirangapatna, there's an amazing temple there, which is near Mysore, was the capital of the kingdom from 1610. So this is a picture of the Mysore Palace, and there's a fun fact. It was rebuilt 4 times after destruction, and this is the current one, which was built during the British Raj. So this was actually first built as a Mysuru fort in the early times. So this is a picture of Vodayar III and Vodayar IV. And Vodayar III is also often credited as the cultural founder of Mysore. So everybody knows that Mysore has a wonderful culture and heritage within it. So Vodayar III is often credited as the founder of all that culture and heritage. So let's see the rise to the fall. The 17th century saw a steady expansion of its territory under Narasaraja Vodayar I and Chikkadevaraja Vodayar, and the kingdom annexed large expanses of what is now southern Karnataka and parts of Tamil Nadu, and it became a powerful state in the southern Deccan. The kingdom reached the height of its military power and dominion in the later half of the 18th century under the de facto rulers Hyder Ali and his son Tipu Sultan. So Tipu Sultan is a very famous king, also known as the greatest king of Mysore, who fought 4 Anglo-Mysore wars against the British and other allies of the British to stop them from taking over the kingdom of Mysore. And there's a lot of monuments for Tipu Sultan in Mysore. The latter demolished parts of Mysore to remove legacies of the Vodayar dynasty. During this time, Mysore kingdom came into the conflict with the Marathas, the British, the Nizam of Golconda, leading to the 4 Anglo-Mysore wars. And they succeeded in the first 2 ones, but they were defeated in the 3rd and 4th, as Tipu Sultan died in the 4th war in 1799, and the capital was moved back to Mysore from Srirangapattinam. So the capital was Srirangapattinam for about 90 to 80 years. After that, because of the Fourth Anglo War and it came under the power of the British, they moved back the capital status to Mysore. The kingdom was distributed by the British to their allies of the Fourth Mysore War. So this is a picture of Narasara Raja Vodayar I and Chikkadeva Raja Vodayar. This is a picture of Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. This is a picture of the British soldiers in the 18th century. And this is the place where the body of Tipu Sultan was found in the Fourth War, and he was laid to rest in a tomb which was built especially for Tipu Sultan. The British Raj, the landlocked interior of the previous Mysore kingdom, was turned into a princely state under the British Raj, and the former Vodayar rulers were reinstated as puppet monarchs. So what the British actually did in mostly all the parts of India to capture over the country was they made deals with the king, and they made the kings fight with each other but in return giving tools, guns, things like that to both of the kings. So example, if there's a kingdom and there's kingdom 2, there's king 1, king 2. What the British did, they offered guns and things to help him defeat his enemy, which is king 2, and he did the same thing with the king 2. So he gave both the kings power and guns to destroy each other, and in that process he slowly took over both of these kingdoms. Then he instated the kings as puppet monarchs who were just there to govern over the state, and they should get the correct tax, and they should report to the British commissioner who was assigned to each of the kingdom. So that was what exactly puppet monarchs were. They were just puppets to look over the process and to convince the people to give taxes to the British. And the British administration was assisted locally by the Diwan Purnaya in Mysore. It's also called as the Chief Minister, Diwan, Chief Minister. And Purnaya is credited with improving Mysore's public works. Mysore lost its status as the administrative center in 1831, but the kingdom actually remained. So they kept it as a kingdom before establishing the British Indian Empire, and they were just collecting taxes, getting reported to by these puppet monarchs until they physically took over the entire country. And the British commissioner has all the rights to do things via the king, and he moved the capital to Bangalore. It regained the status in 1881, so it remained without the capital status for around 50 years, and it remained the capital of the princely state of Mysore in 1881, when the British Indian Empire was established until India became independent in 1947. The Mysore municipality was established in 1888, and the city was divided into 8 wards. So during the British Raj, the British actually did try to make things better and to make flourish the cities for their luxuries. In 1897, an outbreak of bubonic plague killed nearly half the population, and with the establishment of the CITB in 1903, which is the City Improvement Trust Board, Mysore became one of the first cities in Asia to undertake planned development. Public demonstrations and meetings were held during the Quit India movement and other phases of the Indian independence movement. After Indian independence, Mysore remained as a part of the Mysore state, now which is called as Karnataka. Post-independence, Jayachamarajendra Vodayar, then king of Mysore, was allowed to retain his titles and he was nominated as the Raja Pramukh, which is the appointed governor of the state. He died in September 1974 and he was cremated in Mysore city. Over the years, Mysore became well known as a center for tourism. The city remained largely peaceful except for occasional riots for the Kaveri River water dispute. So among the events that took place in Mysore and made national headlines were a fire at a television studio that claimed 62 lives in 1989 and sudden deaths of many animals at the Mysore Zoo. Now, Mysore is a flourishing tourist site attracting thousands of tourists from the west as well as within India itself. Mysore is a palace of art and architecture with sites like the Mysore Palace, Vrindavan Gardens, Sri Chamundeshwari Temple, Saint Philomena's Church, Chamundi Hills, Lalita Mahal, Railway Museum, Shivasamudra Falls, Melkote, KRS Dam, which is the Krishna Rajasagar Dam, and many more places. So what happened actually was, in the 16th century, the Vodayar family were ruling the village, and what happened was soon Tipu Sultan and Hyder Ali took over the kingdom, and it moved over to the British because of the four Anglo-Mysore wars. And then soon after the independence, it started developing. The city started developing, and now it's a palace of culture and heritage. So I'm going to be making a video about places to visit in Mysore, because I personally have been to Mysore twice, and there are a lot of places you can visit, and more episodes of time travel will also be coming very soon. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, like, share and subscribe.